Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual Desktop Experience. I am James, aka HCMJ, one third of Death Dynamic Shroud. Oh, I'm a little squashed down here.
Yeah, me too. I'm a little squashed.
I'm working on it.
I'm Tech. I'm in Death Dynamic Shroud.
I'm Kevin. I'm equipped.
I'm Mark. I'm R23X at VHS stills, and I'm in the corner here.
And happy to know you.
That's Mark in the corner.
There we go. That's what we're looking for here.
There we go.
All right.
4K.
So yeah, once again, here we are in the Virtual Desktop Experience. Today is a very special Virtual Desktop Experience because, as you can see, we are in full Ultra Gamer mode. Mark Junker, the one, the only, is responsible for this incredible layout. Mark, is there anything that you would like to say about it?
Just that I love gaming, and I've been playing video games for a long time, and RGB lighting is really, I think, essential to the gaming experience, and it's important to me.
So so if I were going to give any notes on your gamer setup here, is I think that you need some neon purple lights against your wall, sort of filling the room with sort of different colored neon light, with lots of moving rainbows and things like that.
Yeah.
Like actually
Your
in the room on the wall.
Doesn't look like a first-person shooter arena. Are you a real gamer?
Yeah, I mean, because that's the best for your eyes. It improves performance. It's scientifically proven to make you just a little bit more hardcore. So
that said, this is I would say that for the Virtual Desktop Experience, this is a pretty epic gamer moment.
This is this is an epic gamer moment here on the Virtual Desktop Experience. So
just wanted to give a shout out to updating your drivers every 6 months in order to maintain this kind of lighting. So shout out to drivers.
Yes, very much so. And so we have a lot of surprises in store for everyone tonight, so please stay tuned as we move through this sort of this labyrinth of Ultra Gamer aesthetics that we have prepared for you tonight. So please look forward to it.
This segment was brought to you by MSI Afterburner, overclocking software.
And Corsair, manufacturer of affordable PC parts for your PC gaming building needs.
Whether it's low-profile memory or
glowing RAM sticks.
Trident 24-karat gold RAM sticks. We got you covered.
Now, to Corsair's credit, for the brief moment when I was... not brief moment, it was a long period of time that I was getting into this stuff because I was about to build a Hackintosh. That Corsair makes... I think they had one of the only cases that didn't have a window, and it was just for like IT work kind of situation, like very bare bones case. It's like literally the only type of PC case that you can get that doesn't have a stupid fucking window in it.
Server boy case.
Yeah, it was a server boy case. And maybe, I don't know why. It makes me sad. So what's everyone been up to?
Case.
Gaming.
Doing lots of gaming. Actually, I haven't played a video game since I beat Final Fantasy VII Remake for the 5th time. But someone else here just beat Final Fantasy VII Remake for the first time. Congratulations to Kevin, longtime guest, Kevin.
James, you beat it last week, right?
It was a couple weeks ago, but very recently. It's my most recent triumph.
Well, I started the game on Thursday, and I beat it on Sunday, I think, or Monday.
No, that's intense. Like I took
Sunday.
months really taking my time with it, and then just like blasted through the last 12 hours in 2 days, basically, because it was just like, all right, I can't. Like, as I wanted to play other games, it was like I can't. Like, I have to finish this first. I rarely feel that way, but yeah.
I was like Kevin. I played it like I got it on like a Friday or whatever, and then I beat it on Monday. Just like
it must be nice to not have a job. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I know. I'm being facetious.
No,
I made myself finish my Patreon mixtape, and then after it was done, I was like, okay, it's gaming time. And then now I'm back on the Patreon mixtape grind. So
I actually requested off a day of work so that I could play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That's
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
That
So
is
that
very
was,
beautiful of you.
Yeah.
But then again, you're a
Those-
very beautiful guy, so...
Well, I'm a gamer first.
A lover second, a patron third.
Fighting
Giver
Island
of
asks,
instructions.
why is the desktop blurred?
That's
Mark?
copyright issues.
No, that's
which
because
is
we
terms of
wanted to be able
service.
to see your lovely chat on it. And here, let me. Some people asking why I hate Windows, Microsoft Windows, saying why they got to be able to see the guts, man. Look, it's fine. Everyone's this isn't me saying anything is wrong. This is me just saying, here's my worldview. Come with me, have fun with me. Walk a mile in my shoes to understand why it's stupid to have a window in your computer case.
And Rail says James wants to live in Japan because the houses don't have windows.
Just doors.
That is not true. They have plenty of windows. But of course, it was Elrond who was not into the swinging wooden apparatuses that separated rooms because he wanted no more doors in Rivendell. So.
Swinging wooden apparatuses.
Apparati.
Apparata.
James, that reminds me, have you been following the 4K release of all 6 Lord of the Rings movies coming out? Like remastered to be like, quote, one story in the form of a long movie?
So, wait, there's an official release of
Peter Jackson is releasing all
4K
the Lord
versions
of the Rings.
of LOTR.
Yeah, it's like he basically, in fact, I watched the trailer for it, and he was talking about, it seemed like a window into what it must be like to be you, just how you think and see the world. Just Peter Jackson explaining things to you in the form of special features is how you perceive reality. But
it's true. That is a fact.
But he's talking about how the technology changed for color correction, and some of it was filmed. It was kind of like George Lucas moment where they started on 35mm, and now the Hobbit monstrosity of digital stuff is happening. And
because the bees fly at you because it's in 3D, and that really ended up sticking.
Yeah.
Everyone got that one right.
I'm so fucking glad I was railing against 3D from the fucking jump.
I mean,
and
do you
once
even remember?
Again, do you remember what life was like before?
Before we go to our friends' houses, we put on the 3D glasses, and that's how we experience entertainment, and that's just the way the world
I'm just
went,
I tweeted about this earlier, but I was right about Cyberpunk as well. And so basically... Wait, did I get cut off? I lost my connection.
You're there.
No?
Okay, basically I'm right all the time, and that's what everybody should kind of respect that, right?
Okay.
We were both right about that. But we saw the writing on the walls as soon as we saw what the dude looked like. It was like, all right.
Yeah. It's like, this is going to be your main character? All right.
But, we don't have to give any, there's no such thing as bad press. I feel bad that he even, said anything about it or engaged about it at all. It's like, anyone who actually knows what Cyberpunk is would just be so turned off by the fact that Keanu Reeves has anything to do with it. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's not.
Yeah.
It's like, specifically Keanu Reeves from the Xbox press conference. It's the same character. It's that's the one that's in the game. Okay, gamer Keanu. Cool, Keanu.
But that's
probably the first warning sign, honestly.
I don't care. I'm gonna buy it and play it.
I really don't want to. After reading reviews, all politics aside, just I don't know if you're aware of the plot of the game, but it's you're a cyber dude and you get a chip in your brain that allows you to that makes it so that you share consciousness with a dead rock star, and that's Keanu Reeves. And he's this real cool rocker, Rock of Ages style, caricature of party dude, but he's also has some subversive message about the government or whatever, and I don't know, I just saw that screenshot where it's brainwash,
Well, maybe I'll just crack the game and then I'll donate $50 to a charity.
That sounds like a plan. Now, if I were going to play it, I would definitely play it on one of these hot rigs. I think it's time for us to move inside and feel the power.
Oh,
So here
I'm
we
ice
are.
cold now.
We are in the belly of the beast, and it's real exciting to be here. And I think this would be a good opportunity to pull up a nice
A word
browser
from
here.
our sponsor.
What are our temps here? Are we below 60 C?
16.
That's really hot.
Gamer temps.
I think that's usually what CPUs run at, though.
I don't. You're gonna have to walk me through how a computer works.
From what I understand, like, more is bad, so less is good.
For heat.
See, they got all these sick slots and angles and stuff. That helps with the airflow.
It's got a great airflow.
Nice.
It's really important because if you're not experiencing gaming at the limit, you might as well not game.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel.
That's the whole keystone of the overclocked movement, right?
Yeah. Well, here's something I was thinking about. So Keith was showing us when I was in Philadelphia and we were recording the new DDS album. Keith was showing us. Well, I think we talked about it on the stream maybe. The water that.
Oh yeah. That was how I quickly pivoted after he had Googled grotesque porn or whatever.
Yeah. Oh. Okay,
I had to quickly
Dry
pivot,
water.
and I was like, "Oh, Keith showed me this funny video."
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Good pivot.
I'm a good pivoter. What can I say?
So what I was thinking was, because one of the things that they showed is that you could submerge an entire computer in dry water and it still runs perfectly fine. So if you built a case full of dry water and you put the computer in it, it'd be fine, right? But what about this? What about dry Mountain Dew? Because then you could fill your gamer rig with dry Mountain Dew, stick your computer in there. I'm just saying.
What about piss? It seems more eco-friendly.
What about dry piss?
No comment. There were several reasons why using the dry water for cooling computers was not an efficient way.
I think you
mostly
gotta get
because
an
it's too expensive.
ecosystem going where all the computer parts themselves are waterproof. So you have Mountain Dew being produced by the computer, it goes into the gamer, and then the piss goes into the PC case, and then gets turned back into Mountain Dew. So then you get a nice kind of eco-friendly cycle going.
That's true. You don't have to get up from your gamer rig at that point.
Exactly.
So
more gaming time.
hold on a second. I just realized my chair is too high. That's one of the problems here. There we go. Okay. So Kevin, am I to understand that you actually have that mouse with the fan on it?
I don't have one with a fan, but I do have a honeycomb mouse, and I really like it.
Should have got the fan.
So
It's,
I have several questions about this because I'm behind. Okay, well that's not too bad, but then again,
Well, we can't.
why does it have holes?
Yeah, why does it have holes?
The internal components.
So when your
getting hot.
palms don't get sweaty.
Or so that your palms sweat directly into the mechanics of the mouse.
Exactly.
Or they only
There's
sweat
actually
in
a little sheath over top of the electronics, so if your palms do get sweaty and the sweat drips into them, it will roll off and not hit the electronics.
That's what the tiny mops are for.
What about dry,
That's like a single
dry
bit.
sweat?
Tiny mouse.
But no, I mean I feel it. I don't suffer from sweaty palms because my heart is so solid that nervousness is a concept completely alien to me. You know, I'm
But
reminded.
bro,
I'm
if
reminded.
you're gaming on a Mac, you're at max 60 FPS. I'm over here, I'm clocking 120, sometimes 200 FPS.
and you're just like.
And at those frame rates, your heart is beating at an
Wow,
accelerated
that's
rate.
true,
So
yeah.
Now, hey, now all of that
200
said,
first-person shooters.
Dude, Mark, I was gonna make the same joke. So
The
stupid.
same gamer We're gamers just through and through. I mean, you can't take
Exactly. I mean, you got to be playing Call of Duty, Counter-Strike. You got to be playing these Twitch reflex games to be getting
So look,
the increased heart rate.
and I think it's important to let's enter the man cave again, and I think it's important to take a moment here, because as much as I make fun of this stuff, and I do think that the aesthetics are absolutely like an abomination upon all that is holy and sacred, and I cannot believe that in the last 10 years that we're still doing this, and this is where we are, and everything is still glowing RGB rainbow lit keyboards and mice and internal components, and like it's such a joke to me. It's so ugly, and I can't imagine anyone finding it cool. But all that said, there's something to be said of like a 1,000 hertz refresh 5K monitor pushing 120 frames per second, with like wired mouse control, like that's going to look and feel and be an experience that is something that is far beyond a typical consumer product or console experience. And like I understand that, and I get it, and like it's sick, and if I had one I'd be into it, and I'd game on it, and I'd have fun, and it's totally cool to want to take things to the max. It's mostly just the aesthetics that I think are funny, but I also feel that within the culture there seems to be this, it's like, oh, you can't play an FPS at a 60 hertz refresh rate, or like you can't, like it's impossible.
Right, yeah,
There is a level of elitism that is comparable to audiophile elitism, where it's basically like the more dollars you spend, the better your experience is going to be, where it's just absolutely not true. If you've, like, I played Doom Eternal on a 60 FPS refresh monitor, and I beat it, and it runs amazing, and like 60 frames per second is really solid and really smooth and buttery.
I played Destiny 2 on a fucking PS4 capped at 30 frames per
30,
second.
right?
You know what I mean? And like it just kind of the motion looked cinematic because it was closer to like 24 FPS, which is what I do like my 3D stuff in, specifically to give it a sort of a certain like look and feel. But I think that the issue, like the disconnect, is that extreme gamers, it's like the core gaming experience is not affected by that. Like truly, like anecdotally, I was just talking about how recently, like playing Oblivion on like a PS3, it's like the worst version of Oblivion, doesn't even have all the content, on a very sort of an underperforming console, but like it doesn't matter, like with the first moment when I start playing Oblivion on like my sick computer in like 4K 60 frames per second, it's like, wow, this is cool. But after like 5 minutes, your brain just sort of snaps in to whatever you're experiencing, and then it's gonna have the same glitches, it's gonna have the same sort of like feel or whatever. And I recognize there's like competitive gaming, and that's like a whole thing that is also silly in its own way, but also I respect it too, I just love and hate everything. It's really difficult.
I mean, I use both PC and Mac, and I like to make fun of them both, because like they both have their like, what the hell, why didn't they think of this shortcomings, but then they also have their benefits.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's, I don't know, I use everything and I make fun of everything.
The Windows is objectively worse, though. It is just unbelievable. A train wreck nightmare of operating system.
There's a lot of shit that Mac OS does that, like, I think
is not
just
even close.
Inanely dumb. And there's a ton of shit that Windows does that I think is so stupid.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, obviously...
Guys, read the room. The gamer room that we're in right now.
I'm sorry, yes, Macintosh... Macs do not exist in this space, my friend. And that is fine. This is where we are, and that is fine.
I think ultimately, I think the real thing is just that anytime... It's not just with like gamers or with like audiophiles, but it's when people like nerd out about something. That's when everything when you nerd out about something, it's cool. When you get a bunch of nerds together who are all nerding out about something, it's not quite as it's the more that you get, the lower the coolness gets.
Isn't that our podcast every week though?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
You need a better fan for your. You need a better fan to keep it cool.
Yeah, bro, you need an A.
You know what might help, because tensions are running high. I feel that there might be some sweating palms. You're about to enter the cooling zone.
Yes.
So everyone, just take a deep breath. We're gonna calm down.
Cool your palms.
Everything's
I'm
fine.
So cool right now.
Mom spaghetti.
So am I to understand that this blows air onto your palms to keep them cool, or is this cooling components that are overheating inside of your mouth?
Mark, does it suck or blow?
Well, there's a driver you can install that allows you to control that with a trackpad. Yeah. So.
Is the trackpad? Does it contain a cooling fan as well?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this actually has an M1 chip in the mouse, and it's.
So it definitely cannot be used while it's charging then. See, come on, I can poke fun at the one mistake that Apple's made in the last 20 years.
Unless you get a wedge mouse pad.
Oh man, I do want some Apple Silicon though. I want to get one of those new MacBooks and just remove the CPU and just rub it on my face,
My dad was ready for an upgrade from his 2011 MacBook, and I had the opportunity to turn him to the dark side. I thought it might be kind of fun to build a PC father and son style. And he tasked me with
Hi B, thank you.
Doesn't
suck or
44
blow.
doesn't suck or blow. Glad somebody can appreciate my humor. I weighed all of the options for him, and I picked him out an M1 Mac Mini. It's badass. I can't wait till it shows up, and I can't wait to go home and fuck around with Dad's Mac Mini. It looks awesome.
And I mean, I don't know much about your father's technical proficiency, but I would not wish a PC on a baby boomer, unless you're ready to get those phone calls,
He uses the PCs at work, and then, I steered my folks towards Mac OS when I got my first PowerBook when I was in high school, PowerBook G4, the titanium one, and which was killed by Apple's own design. The hinges snapped open, and there's no way to glue them back on.
It took them some years to figure that out.
So that was my first Apple machine that was self-sabotaged by their beautiful aesthetics. The second being the iMac's vertical design and improper thermals caused my GPU solder bridge to melt twice, so I did.
Well, that's a classic Apple hardware design issue.
Bake it in the oven.
So that goes all the way back to the. If we hold on, let's ready for gaming.
Hell yeah!
Oh, actually, sorry, this was the wrong place to land here. I meant to take us. Inside, feel the power. That's right.
Yes.
So
there's lots of options when you're a gamer. You can be inside the computer or outside of it. There's a window. I've never seen inside my Macintosh computers, but you can see inside PC gaming computers.
So long as they have RGB lighting,
yeah.
That's why
it's too dark.
That's why they put the window on the side.
So in the original compact Macs, which this is a Mac Classic. That's actually not.
There's no lights in there.
There are not lights. But the original classic Macintosh, the Macintosh and the Macintosh Plus, the 128K Mac, as it was known, and the Mac Plus. If you don't have a external hard drive, it is a completely silently running machine. It was something that Steve Jobs specifically wanted, was that it would make no noise and would just be this beautiful little box that you turned on. The computer is the appliance, was the idea, that you didn't have to mess with it. Who cares? It just works, and you can do whatever you need to do on it. But because it didn't have an internal fan, the same problem that you were having with your iMac was a problem in these, is that the heat from the internals... Oh, thank you so much!
Is that...
Nrail.
Nrail!
Thank
James
you.
only sits
in the aisle seat on airplanes because he hates Windows.
I do it so I can use the restroom more easily.
How many frames per second can that Macintosh run though?
Oh, not so many. But
And I don't think that the mouse.
you can make like pretty hate machine on it or whatever. That's kind of cool.
The mouse has no ventilation. It's like a hazard for any kind of gaming you'd want to do on that. Would be dangerous, I think.
I do like that the Apple logo sort of has like a rainbow lights look to it. That was pretty.
Oh yeah, that's
You
the
know
first
that? Wow.
RGB gaming setup.
The real question is, will it run special monochrome edition of Doom?
I mean, it could probably run the original Doom. I mean, if that can run on a
So the Mac Plus
printer.
Well, no, I guess it'd be the Mac Classic that came out in the
So
early
Apple kind
90s.
of invented RGB with that logo.
Basically, they pioneered it. Yeah.
Another Apple innovation
Analog
stolen
RGB.
by the world of PCs and turned into some abomination.
Exactly.
You know, it's like no, not like
They
that.
took it and
Oh.
fucking ran with it.
Yeah, it happens. So we have. So just so everyone is aware, here, I'm gonna take a picture of this and drop it in the monitor here. I want everyone to be able to experience what Mark has done here, because it's pretty impressive. There it is. So these are the scenes that Mark set up for me here, so everyone is aware.
I accidentally separated that window from your.
Oh no, I kind of got into it though, like because
Okay,
it's so busy that this sort of makes it easier to deal with in a way. So yeah, Ultimate Gamer, ultra wide, true gaming.
This is tonight's agenda. This is the agenda
We
for
had to
this evening.
download at least 5 separate OBS drivers to support the ultra wide resolution on this layout.
Yes, definitely. So please look forward to some more information. See, I have to keep up this image of a 128K Mac just to be okay. You know, like it's, that's when you know you have a problem, when you have to do it to feel normal. I guess.
You know, I'm all about that. All about that famous bumper sticker, coexist.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and you know, funny story about that. This is kind of I could talk about this for hours, really. But the short version of the story is Tech and I are members of an elite Facebook group that we were invited into by this vaporwave fan, and it was like kind of a just chatting kind of Facebook group that had existed a little bit of time before we got in there. Anyway, there was a huge thread debate about whether bicyclists should obey stop signs. And we don't have to get into that. I don't want to talk about that ever again. Tech and I fought about this in Kyoto. It was a bloody massacre.
That was the worst fight we got into while we were in Japan.
It's true, and it was about whether bicyclists
it was literally
should
about
obey the
bicycling.
rules.
Yeah.
And we're not even going to tell you who was on which side, because let's just not talk about it. Anyway, so I thought it'd be funny in that thread to find that coexist like design and post it in there, but I could only find it pictured on the bumper of a car. And so I downloaded the picture of a car's bumper with a coexist sticker on it. But I was on my phone, so I had downloaded it into my photo roll. And for some reason, that photograph is dated like 2058 or something. Like it's dated, its creation date is some
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, many years in the future. And so even though I empty out my phone and like do cold storage of my photos, I always leave that one on, and it's now traveled from like 3 different phones, and it's always like the most recent picture in my photo roll. Like 4 years later is this coexist. Yeah, I don't know where my phone is.
You know what the oldest one in my phone is, James?
Mm.
It's you on the cover of Doom.
Oh wow!
That
Wow.
sent me,
That's a classic.
That's a
long
good
time
one.
ago.
You should send that
James,
to me
you're
real quick
in-
so we can show that off.
Let's see.
The first one in my camera roll is actually James as well. It's him playing magic cards in a robe or something.
Oh yeah, I've got that one too.
Those are all classics. This was us at Domune. Remember that?
Yes.
Kevin was really excited about this. We all were, but Kevin was so happy that night. I would like to remember you this way.
That's such a
forever.
good pick. You gotta send me that one. I don't have that.
Okay, James. So I'm looking at my my phone at like the oldest picture in my phone just because I was curious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The picture I have is, I believe, the inside of your house when you were in high school, but it's of me. But here's the thing. The image is extremely dark. In fact, the thumbnail just looks like a sort of like gradient gray to black.
Is it the picture with a zenith and you're
Yes.
you're touching the ceiling, I think?
Is that what I'm doing? Because I was going to send this to you, and then I was going to see if you could just brighten it so that you could reveal what this is to me.
I'm pretty sure that you're just touching the ceiling of my family room. And I sent that to you because I found an old digital roll, like, from the early aughts. So that's the actual original file, like, dated as such as, like, 2001 or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I just texted it to you and said, like, cursed image or something. And you must have
Here.
downloaded it.
I just sent it to you. I just texted it to you. You tell me.
Okay. Oh no! You're going.
What?
I think you're doing that thing.
Really?
I think that's what you're doing. All right,
That's probably true.
folks.
Yeah, wait.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this right now.
What are we talking about here?
So I'm going
Basically,
to. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I found you were all just talking about the oldest picture on your phone, and so I just looked because I wasn't sure what mine was. But it's this image that's dated to 1998, but that can't be right. But I'm trying. I can't see. Like, the picture is too dark for me to make out what's happening. So I'm sending it to James, and he's going to brighten it.
So I'm gonna
so
do
that
this
we
in
can
real time. We're gonna have a real time reveal. So this is going to be great, everyone. This has never before been done. This is the kind of stuff that you get when you tune into the virtual desktop experience. The Neo Gaia Fantasy virtual desktop experience. We are exploring.
Yeah,
We are exploring the world here. So we're gonna.
It literally looks brighter on yours on the screen right now than it does for me.
So folks, with our gaming technology here, we're gonna work this out.
Enhance.
Yeah, so just pull this up here. I'm going to start by increasing the image size. So let's say 200%. There we go.
Enhance.
And now we're going to do some...
Track 15 left.
Come on. Oh. What? Oh.
Enhance.
Wow.
Oh my
Can we-
god.
Can we zoom in on me?
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna use the legacy brightness controls here. I think
Kinda
that
Is
might-
this a 600 by 400 here?
Oh wow. Oh wow. Enhance. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Classic.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Well.
That's you.
So Tick, I
That's
don't know if
me.
you want to talk about what you're doing in this photo.
Yeah, I can do it real quick. I don't have. I gotta take the headphones off though.
So this is Tech when he's like 16, 15,
Okay.
16?
16 probably. Yeah.
16 years old.
It's the oldest picture on my phone. But I'm doing this. You have to show.
Oh yeah, right here. Let me. And here, don't do it yet. I have a.
Okay.
We're gonna do it like this.
You're gonna solo me. This is very welcome to Dino Hourry. So if you're wondering what that content is like, here you go. I'm gonna take my headphones off real quick so I won't be able to hear you guys make fun of me. But well, I can do this. So when I have like allergies and stuff, and when I'm like an allergic, or when I'm like, I don't know, if I don't take Claritin, then like this like spot like between where my ear and like where your throat kind of connects, it gets like itchy.
Oh,
And so to solve that, I go like this.
So there you have it, folks. That's what Tech was doing in that picture. So now,
a cursed itch.
yeah, so that's what I call tech. Tech is my cursed itch.
I think we've all experienced this itch. It sucks.
Yeah, it's the worst. I'm a big fan of Q-tips.
Oh yeah. Don't you wish you could just shove them all the way in there, just as far as they go? And
Was that in a? That was a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I feel like I want that, but then like once it gets to a certain point, I'm like, I do not want that.
you know you're gonna hit that drum,
Yeah.
so you don't.
Yeah.
Real quick, I need to get a little bit more coffee, but I want everyone to sort of steel themselves here, because it's almost time for Ultimate Gamer Ultra Wide True Gaming Mode.
I got a question for Mark.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Mark, this display we're looking at, is it IPS?
I think it's this display is definitely IBS, and it definitely has many
IBS?
pixels.
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah, it's a gaming term actually. If you only eat Doritos and never move, I'm pretty sure would get that. I can't imagine.
So there's
That's
either IBS or there's TN, and TN is too nice. You don't want that. It's too nice. And then there's IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. So you'd rather get the IBS than the TN. This is what I'm told by real gamers.
Then you can cool your computer with dry Pepto-Bismol.
Try Pepto-Bismol. Oh, it's so good.
Make sure you get an all-in-one cooler though, the AIO, because otherwise you won't be able to radiate the intense heat that Pepto is going to give off from your heartburn.
You're like oscillating between making fun of gaming and being caring and knowing about gaming.
I know about all this shit. I have a gamer rig. I'm not gonna lie. I just upgraded it and it's fucking sick. I love it. But like, it's also just so easy to make fun of, you know?
Yeah.
Like when I'm at Micro Center buying computer shit, I'm like looking at every other thing. I'm like pointing and laughing out loud. And
I dated a girl for 2 months, and the primary reason that I broke up with her was because she was fundamentally just incapable of making fun of things that she liked or finding anything decent about something she didn't like. And it just drove me insane. I was like, it was as if like an objective view of the world was just completely not there.
Yeah.
No,
we all know objectively ultra wide 8K, that's the clearest way to have a worldview, really. I mean, you can't have a proper relationship if you're not
if
on
the screen
same page
ends
gaming
anywhere in your peripheral vision, then that's not true gaming.
This is what 1080p, this monitor we're in right now. This is just getting started. We're just warming up.
Warming up.
Now we are broadcasting the show at a solid 60 FPS. I gotta say, this
21.8% CPU though.
Yeah,
I think
so
you could probably use some better thermals in there.
This episode has taxed this computer more than any other episode before it. I don't know if it's all the GIFs or like the 5 levels of transparency or what it is, but I'm usually running at a cool like 11%, 16% max. But yeah, it is taking 21% of my i9 to pump this out right now.
But if you want to run it at a cool 2%, that brings us to our sponsor, Thermal Grizzly, liquid metal thermal paste. Delid your CPU today and replace it with Thermal Grizzly.
But you know, it's like I'm prepared to make certain sacrifices to have this like 5K Retina 27-inch screen with a computer attached to it. Like I understand it's not going to be as powerful as a giant tower, but the whole point is it's sick because there is no giant tower and that it is all in one, you know. But
is it IPS?
Is it irritable?
Have you done the benchmarks on it? What's the exchange rate?
What's the Shadow of the Tomb Raider frame rate?
To
Oh
USD?
my god. Yeah, I'll get you my.
Now, is it 5K rendering resolution, or is that the after the temporal anti-aliasing FXAA times 16?
So it is. It's
I'm
none
so
of that.
glad
So it's not.
I'm glad I like sports.
It's 5K Retina,
Original gaming.
which is like it has micro like mini micro dots. So nothing is exactly the same as it is in the PC world, in the world of Retina, because everything is just weirder and stranger. Although Windows 10 actually does a pretty decent job enhancing its UI to make sense on a Retina display. Because I have seen some instances of Windows not behaving with like ultra high resolution monitors.
See, what James just did, where he like admitted something decent about Windows 10, my ex-girlfriend couldn't have done that.
Just full hate mode.
Just like, yeah, it was either good or bad.
Well, you're never gonna get people on your side if you're just like the world is black and white. Because yes, the world is not black and white. Kevin likes to get under my skin by being full gray Jedi all the time. And
well, I gotta ask, James, did your new Mac ship with any games like 3D Space Pinball? Is there anything to help you with your productivity, like Bonzi Buddy?
Come on.
No, I did. It does have. I mean, I use Apple Numbers to manage my subscribers. It's a great spreadsheet app. You know.
Do you really use fucking Apple Numbers?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
I got it open right now.
Talking to the Excel men over there.
Well,
I mean, Excel is objectively better than
No,
Apple Numbers,
100%.
Would you say that Excel
Here's why.
excels in the spreadsheet department?
Tech.
Yes, and James agrees with that. But what we do does not require, like.
Well, yeah. So Excel is incredible and amazing, and beautiful, and was not created by Microsoft. They acquired. Was it Lotus 123 or something similar? But that was another just Microsoft purchase, just like DOS was. Microsoft has never invented anything, folks. That's just.
What about Bonzi Buddy?
They have acquired and purchased everything that they have ever put out into this world.
They developed the paperclip.
Can we get a Bonzi Buddy in this layout? I'm surprised that you didn't think about that.
Here, 1 second.
Is it really for gaming though? It's more for like casual users.
Yeah,
truly gaming.
Well,
It's
gamers
stuck on RAM.
don't really
the
have
RAM
too many
hog.
friends, and Bonzi Buddy is your friend. So I think it's necessary for the healthy life of a gamer to have a buddy like Bonzi Buddy.
Well,
We can do
Yes.
Bonzi on your episode with your virus infested computer that has.
So the reason why I use Numbers is because Microsoft Office is now a subscription service, and like the Mac version isn't even that good, and like fuck that. So it's fine. I have it on my work laptop, my Lenovo ThinkPad.
Does it have the red nub in the middle? That's the best part about those computers.
Mm-hmm.
That Bonzi Buddy doesn't say I game anywhere down there.
He doesn't. He does the important things. He tells facts. Come on.
I
think
doubt
people
that.
tell facts.
You gotta give Bonzi Buddy credit because he is rocking the objectively best fruit, the banana.
Yeah, king of all fruits. There was a debate about this in our Discord server earlier in the
that's why I
week.
brought it up.
I was just like, like it went on for like a day, and then it was fun because then I just walked in like Henry VIII, just like slamming my scepter to the ground, like no, bananas are king, whoosh, and then vanished into the night. It felt good.
I always say, and I've said this a number of times, and I'm not even joking. Bananas, I always think they're my favorite fruit, but only if I'm eating grapes, because then because I usually think grapes are my favorite fruit. But if I'm eating them, then I'm like, well, what about bananas? And the same thing happens to me with the colors pink and yellow. If I'm looking at yellow, I think pink's my favorite. If I'm looking at pink, I think yellow's my favorite.
What's your favorite?
Yellow is underrated for sure.
I think that my favorite color is yellow. I think that my favorite fruit... I think my favorite fruit are grapes.
Not apples.
But I'm telling you, if I'm eating grapes, then I'm like, I think about bananas. No, I think grapes are my favorite fruit. I think they're my favorite fruit.
No, they're not. Bananas are.
I don't think that's true.
I don't know.
Have you had cotton candy grapes? How the fuck do they make those taste like that, man?
That stuff's weird. I don't know if I condone all that.
That's a government conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this, James. Not even a little.
The hollow eyes.
Yeah. Haunting.
God.
That's yeah.
NPS64 says Bonzi Buddy for Smash. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh no, okay. That's a great idea. Ed
Tell
Jr.
facts.
Wait, is it
just to clarify-
Bonsai?
No, it's just
Bonzi.
Bonzi, but hold on a second. Ed Jr., I'm
Sorry,
trying to
sorry.
answer a question. He asked earlier, what does NN stand for? And it stands for Night Night. What music was right? It just stands for Night Night.
Like night night. Talk to you later.
What's that new Power Stone clone you were telling me about that has like indie game characters?
Mighty Fight Federation.
You should contact the devs and get them to put Bonzi Buddy in that.
You know, speaking of pathetic things, that Mortal Kombat 11. What the hell is this shit? Are they just like trying to sell stuff to like a bunch of 35-year-old dudes that are like, oh man, RoboCop and Rambo,
Dude,
I
RoboCop
love that
versus
shit.
The Joker.
Rambo.
Friggin'
God,
epic, man.
it's like-
epic gamer moment.
It is a nightmarish coming together of like the worst 80s shit that like even in the 90s I didn't like. You know what I mean?
Why so
Like,
serious, James?
I don't even have beef with the Joker, really. I mean, I was all about Batman growing up. I loved 1989 Batman. I loved the Chicago Batman. We saw it. I've talked about that at length, talking about how much I loved it, but I didn't like it enough for some people, I remember, that night.
I think.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Hamilton does the Joker voice for Mortal Kombat 11. I think.
Ooh.
Oh.
Mark Hamill,
Mark
Luke
Hamill.
Skywalker.
Like, he was the one who did it in the cool cartoon show, which I
Yeah.
also watched when I was a kid and loved.
I think
Greatly. Bigly.
I got really into Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which is Mortal Kombat 5.
PS2.
Yeah, I remember I played the hell out of that game.
Those ones are
But
cool.
It wasn't very good in retrospect. I think I just wanted a 3D fighter. Yeah, there you go. It had this
Oh yeah.
guy who was like drunk.
Sometimes
Yeah.
if you're like playing, I don't know, if you're just in the mood for a game and there's nothing on your plate and then you just give yourself to something, I mean, it can
Yeah.
happen, you know? Like
Yeah.
every game,
James, look up the game, launch game for the PS2, Kinetic, because I fucking played the shit out of that game and not at launch. Way later.
wait, the iToy
I'm
game?
sorry, Kinetica.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You must have been really fit from playing.
Tekka's Deadly Alliance, the game with the cutscene at the beginning where they're all running on top of the pyramid and they're like ripping each other's limbs off and stuff.
I can't remember. Maybe.
Because I remember,
that
like, my
sounds-
friend got a
sounds
new
right.
big screen TV. It was like a rear projection, one of those big, gigantic CRTs.
I remember
And that
you
was like
getting
the
into
first
it.
thing he showed me on. He was like, check this shit out, man. Popped in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. We watched that first cutscene.
Actually,
Everyone's
that does
running
sound
up that freaking pyramid,
Yeah.
ripping each other's limbs off, smashing each other's skulls into it. It was freaking nuts, man.
Deadly Alliance intro. Yeah. See if
That was an epic gamer moment, bro.
Oh, the intro to Deadly Alliance is just Liu Kang getting murdered.
I'm thinking of one of the other PS2 ones then.
Yeah, because Liu Kang is not in Deadly Alliance, which is weird.
This is sick, so
He,
far.
he gets killed at the very beginning by Shao Kahn.
That's such a hard style.
God,
There's,
I love
I think-
this mocap.
For
Yeah, look at this shit.
PS2 Mortal Kombats, there's a Deadly Alliance, Deception, some other one, and then there's like Sub-Zero
Oh,
Mythologies. That's
Well,
like not a fighting game, but it's like
Just
the one
like a
that-
dungeon
That was a
crawler.
side scroller with like live action, like straight up live action. There was like live action Sub-Zero talking in caves
Oh my
with like
God.
torchlight.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Oh
There's
hell
one
yeah!
that combines all the timelines into one somehow. It tries to like do time travel or something. Maybe that's 10?
I think that's 11. I watched my
I-
roommate beat 11, and there's all kinds of crazy time travel shit.
Dude, I bet, scroll up slightly. I bet that Armageddon trailer might have been it. Oh, you're gonna watch the birth of...
I think
Here.
it is Armageddon.
Wait, scroll down. You scrolled up way too far. It was just one video above the one you clicked on. There it is,
Oh.
Armageddon. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
4K,
cinematic 4K.
60 FPS. Now
Dude.
we're gaming.
Now we're
Yeah, I once it was like, I don't know, over an hour-long explanation of the Mortal Kombat like story. I mean,
Dude,
it is out there.
I got absorbed with it. I fell down a Wikipedia wormhole of Mortal Kombat lore, and it was awesome.
It is really, really intense and extremely
it's like
difficult
fucking,
to follow.
Like wormholes and time and fucking space.
I gotta say, for how ridiculous MK11 is, the cutscenes are like very cinematic, and I think that there's probably more. Like, there's hours and hours and hours of cutscenes. There's way more cutscene time than there is like gameplay time.
That's sick.
This is.
It would be difficult.
This is totally it.
I mean, it's Mortal Kombat is basically as convoluted as Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
If Final Fantasy tried to make it all like, no, it's one thing and the same characters are in every game, but it's like
it's more akin to
timelines,
like Kingdom Hearts. I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because Final Fantasy, at least the insanity is like contained into each anthology, if you will. Like Final Fantasy 13 has its own shit, and Final Fantasy 7 has its own shit. And I'm like falling off here. That's alright. It's for the best. The world has. There's enough James.
Oh, he just pulled skeletons up from the earth.
Wow.
That's a good skill.
Damn.
Is he a necromancer? Is he in?
If anybody's trying to get big follows, you go to bigfollows.com there. Just click that URL.
God.
If you want to become famous, that is.
Oh yeah. Are there any mods in the chat? We gotta. Squash
I am, but I don't know how to do it.
We gotta squash these bugs.
How do I do it? I only see an option to reply.
Oh, / banned. There you go.
You gotta enter
/ ban command.
I don't know if your graphics card can handle blocking them. You might need to up your system.
Damn.
Oh, is everyone enjoying this
I'm
Destiny
running
of
at
Shroud
too high
song right
attempts
now?
trying to ban this guy.
This is vaporwave, everyone. This is what vaporwave sounds like. Acoustic guitars.
Oh, I banned him.
Nice.
Nice. He's a
Oh
man.
wait, no, you got to him first, Kevin.
Simultaneously.
60 bans.
Dude, you
per
just
second.
did to that
Simon
guy
ban.
what's going on in this screen right now.
We double slammed the ban hammer. I mean, can you imagine watching this on a big screen TV?
PS2 graphics were sweet. Like that shit was fucking so awesome.
Yeah.
PS2 I think is I think that would be like my all-time favorite console, because that's when I played games the most, was probably on the PS2.
I think that was, for me, the biggest jump in like visual clarity was like PS1 to PS2. Actually,
you think so?
The first time I saw a Dreamcast,
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say
out.
Soul Calibur
Yeah.
on the Dreamcast was like
it wasn't even just,
unbelievable.
but no, it was like just jumping from Super Nintendo to like Sony PlayStation was, to me, like, I mean, that to me is the biggest
N64. N64.
I guess,
Mario in 3D. Nothing in my entire life has ever felt
that
like
generation,
that. Or will
right?
ever
That
feel like
generation, that generation feels like N64, PS1, Sega Saturn, whatever. That generation was the biggest jump in graphical prowess, right? Because you went from using pixels to polygons.
This commercial, I
yeah,
would see
for
this
sure.
commercial
Oh my
on
God.
TV, and like that would like, even watching it now, I can like have the memory of the experience
That's
of like
awesome.
not being able to handle what I was seeing. Like,
whoa, they
Like
show you the
virtual
secret
utopia.
right there
like
in the
how
commercial.
big is this world? Like, it's
Yeah.
3D. You can go anywhere. Like, it's 3D. Like, it's breaking my brain. Even now,
So-
looking at it, you know, and it's like, yeah, 3D mech games and shit existed, and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and all that shit, but it was like, no, this is Mario, you know, like, you've never
Right.
seen him before.
I think
Nothing
the
will
blow
ever
was
feel like
softened
that
for me
again.
because we had like a family PC and I was used to polygonal games at the time.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, this is
Bringing
I'm
it
not
back
playing
to the
this song, but this is a
PC.
great one.
Well,
Listen to this
also-
song.
But how? Wait, Kevin, how old are you?
31.
Okay.
Pretty
It
young.
makes a difference at that age.
Well, I'm trying to think because like I know like when the PlayStation came out, what, like 95 or something?
90.
94?
94. Yeah, and so it was just like only a couple of years after I had gotten a PS, or not a PS, but Super Nintendo, and I would have been like between ages like 7.
God, I still want one of those PSXs so bad. That is just one of the most attractive looking home consoles I've ever seen.
Oh, this?
So cool.
Yeah. I saw a bunch of them in Japan, but they're all various states of like nicotine
Yellowing.
yellow. I gotta have a
Oh.
perfect.
Well,
I
but
don't
that's
even
the
care
thing,
if
though.
it
works, too.
Nothing is forever. All plastic yellows, everything dies. You know?
What the
Some
fuck
batches are better than others.
What is that?
It's the PSX. It's like a PS2 with a DVR in it.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
like
a
hi-fi.
DVR?
You know, like a TiVo, where you could like record your TV shows.
Gotcha. Huh. Interesting.
It's pretty
sort of-
cool.
Sort of represents everything I hate about modern gaming, though.
I just think it's such a sleek looking piece of hardware. I love the.
Yeah, it looks
something
beautiful.
of it.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
beautiful when our buddy Mark is controlling it and making beautiful music
Yes.
with it when we're all in Japan together, which, hey, you know, things are looking up, things are looking good, you know? I think that we might be able
Okay.
to travel this time next year. I certainly hope so. Don't want to stay here any longer. Looking forward to moving to another country and traveling again and seeing the world. And
We need to get out of this computer.
I know, like,
Yeah.
God, first
I'm
off,
getting
like,
freezing in here.
Well, in 23 days from now, it'll be 2021. COVID will be over, and so everything should be, ready to go for next year, right?
I, for one, bow down to our mink overlords that
if all goes
You guys-
according to plan. And
And the-
thanks again
the
to
new-
our loyal, our fans, our supporters, our watchers, our streaming friends, our Discord buddies, everyone who's donated, everyone who has liked or shared or talked to a friend about how wonderful this experience truly is. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because without you, we are nothing. And we're really, really excited to take you along with us to Japan. That was a whole idea. That's why we started the show when we did, because like by now, we should have been doing this show in Japan with our Japanese friends, live streaming concerts, and making a new documentary and giving you that lovely content. And instead, we're trapped.
The new
Inside
dock is
of
going to
it.
be so hot.
The gaming PC.
The new doc.
Oh man, speaking of gaming, I saw this game for PS4 that blew my mind. Look up The Life of Black Tiger for PS4. You gotta see some gameplay footage of this game, man. It is just gonna rock your world.
The worst game on PS4 is one of the first things that I saw there.
Whoa. Oh, this is sick though. This looks like EverQuest. Whoa, do you
Awesome.
play as a black tiger that just
Yes.
mauls people?
Yes.
Dude, awesome.
This is
Damn.
sick.
This is so sick.
Oh, I like these I love how there's no animation for him turning.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
turning animation. The model just rotates.
Wow.
It's awesome.
This kind of looks
Awesome.
like the that Negative Gemini video
Yes.
where it's all the dinosaurs just like fighting each other.
100%.
You know what? These graphics remind me of Myth: The Dark Ages.
It's like good,
Oh,
like
Black
high res,
game.
low poly, but like not. I don't think that was their intentional
Was it called
aesthetic.
Myth? What was that game called? There was a Bungie. It was a Bungie game called Myth. I think it was called Myth, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes. Let's play. Oh, the Fallen
the
Lords.
Fallen Lords.
Yeah, I had. This was an old. This was one of those games that every kid who had a Mac had at least this demo, because Bungie was a major Macintosh developer in the 1990s. Let's not forget. It was
yeah.
kind of like it was kind of an RTS. It was an RTS, but I'm pretty sure you just had like X amount of dudes and the landscape was 3D, but everything else was sprite related. But just the animation,
Yeah.
as you're seeing, kind of.
Oh, dude, it looks like Shining Wisdom for Saturn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like Shining in the Darkness, or any of those
Even Shining Force
Camelot
3,
games.
yeah, had like a 3D terrain with pixel everything else.
But like the sprites are like they're pre-rendered sprites, so they're like 3D snapshots, you know, like Donkey Kong Country style.
Nice.
Oh, it looks so good.
I
Alright,
love
let's
that
see some
style.
comeback, yeah.
It's kind of like the best style.
But the blood on the ground too looks very similar to that Black Tiger game we
Yeah.
were just looking at.
But
Yeah.
that's small. It looks like they look kind of like real.
Yeah. Graphic.
Speaking of like
1997.
bad, good graphics, have you guys seen that game Bright Memory for PC? You should look that one up. It's like just absolutely ridiculous, over the top. I gotta give the developer credit because apparently it's one guy, and he got called out because he like pirated all of the like models and textures and stuff to make the game.
Oh,
but
but
it's like-
come on.
Like bad, like everything's really like the geometry's really weird and bad. It looks like a PS3 game, but then there's like these incredibly beautiful lighting effects and like particle effects and like slowdown stuff, and it's really confusing to watch and play. But
One
it's
guy made this?
yeah,
Wow.
Crazy.
This is pretty cool.
but you like fight like knights with swords and shit, but you've got like guns and like a lightsaber, and you can like slow down time and like throw guys up in the air and stuff.
That
That's
seems
pretty
a little
cool.
easy.
Wait
Games
till
are
you get
pretty
into some
fun.
combat. It's just the aesthetic is like really confusing. You know, it looks like a PS3 game, right? But then,
Oh,
like,
okay,
yeah.
here we are. So this does kind of look like Myth, the Fallen Lords.
but it's got like real-time ray tracing, like lighting and reflections, and in motion. The game looks really, really beautiful.
I could watch this all day.
But the dialogue is just like really, really terrible. The voice acting is really questionable.
It kind of
Like,
makes
the
me want to play
characters-
Destiny.
Yeah.
Oh,
reminds
and
me of
here
the,
we are.
What? Oh my god.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are here in the... Here, let me get that. Is that this one? Yeah, so here we are in our Ultra Gamer, Ultra Wide, True Gaming setup here. So again, this was all Mark Junker, our 23X. He's the one who put all this together. We have an ultra wide, super wide Samsung monitor here with a beautiful Destiny 2 wallpaper setup.
This wasn't photoshopped at all. It was like
This
this is the
exists.
product photo for the monitor. I'm not being trying to be funny. It's
Yeah,
just
no, I believe you.
it's really wide.
Ultra wide.
Is
Seems
it
too
IPS,
wide.
though?
I don't think that even applies anymore. It's IPS squared, dude. Yeah.
IPS 2.
Is it Kylo Ren wide? Old meme.
Ben Swolo.
I see the Samsung 49-inch ultra wide. Is this? It looks like this is the image you used here. I see.
Is that
Oh
the
my-
biggest? Is that the biggest monitor?
Yeah,
Available?
it's hot.
It could be twice as tall as well, but then it wouldn't feel as wide.
Yeah, then you have to make it twice as wide from there. Just
And-
to...
So I mean, is
Yeah,
it like?
lighting.
Is it? I mean, these giant monitors, are they like truly like a single panel, or are there like two HDMI
It's a single
outs?
panel.
Damn, that's crazy.
You know what I like to do is plug my computer into my TV, and then I put a piece of cardboard over the top half.
Yeah, I mean, like, at what point is this not? It seems like you're seeing less, you know?
Yeah, it's diminishing returns here. What would
tell
be
you
good
what.
for is you could play a 2-player split screen game.
Oh hell yeah!
And then but you can put something down. You can put a little divider, and then you and your bud
No screen
could,
peeking for Halo.
could
Sign
play
me
like GoldenEye. That
Hell
game
yeah.
people play.
Look how they're advertising Windows on this. Just like look closely at this image here. There's something not quite right about it, is it? Is this what it's supposed to look like, ladies and gentlemen?
So you know what it is actually sweet for? Is our boy Clanton has an ultra wide, and he opened up his Logic file in it, and he's got his plugins like all the way over on the right side, and they're like all
cool.
up.
Video
and
editing.
I was just like, damn, that's awesome.
Video editing would be very, very cool on it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
When we were in college and like working with Logic, it was great because you could just put your mixer in one, because every computer was set up with 2 monitors, so you could just put your mixer in one monitor and then have the rest in the other monitor, and it was just everything was always open and awesome.
It is nice. I don't rock a 2 monitor setup. I mean, I've got my Windows monitor and then I've got my iMac like sitting on the same desk, but I don't like use the iMac in dual monitor mode ever.
Yeah, I've never been a 2 monitor person. I know that some people cannot operate without 2 monitors, and I respect that. I don't know, with a 27-inch screen, like, I don't know. Sometimes
it definitely is sweet for plug-in real estate, though. Like, once you see it in action on somebody else's setup, it's like, damn, I could really get into that.
This monitor seems reasonably priced, though. It's only like $8.99. It can't be the top-of-the-line monitor. There's got to be a bigger monitor.
I don't think it's IPS then.
You don't think it's IPS?
Well, so I do have a MacBook Air with an 11-inch screen that I have on the speaker to the right of my computer that I do sometimes, it does function as like it will play entertainment shows when I'm, working on design work or something and want something on in the background. And right now I'm using it. Here, we can peek behind the butter.
Ah, yes, entertainment shows.
My favorite kinds.
I feel like if you get a monitor, it's like it's either going to be it's going to have some kind of a shortcoming unless you want to pay like over $1,000 for it.
So here's the show running on my 27-inch iMac, and then next to it, as I'm talking, I don't use a second monitor. Well, there is one. And it's
what
right
a liar! What a cheat! What a ripoff!
Nice.
It's fine.
That's great. I actually wanted to try to get one of the smaller MacBooks, like either the 11-inch MacBook Air or the 12-inch MacBook, to try to like use as a live performance machine. That's
you
just
put it
like
in your pocket. It's cute.
Yeah. Did the MacBook Air hold up for you for that, James? Or is
yeah, so that's literally why I got it, was for taking it to Japan. And so this particular one I really, really appreciate because they no longer make 11-inch MacBook Airs. So it's the smallest notebook that Apple ever produced. And this was like the final iteration of it. So it actually has an i7 in it. Like it's not, like it's really, really solid for running Ableton especially. So yeah, like I don't do video editing on it, but it now runs the DDS live show pretty much across the board. It's like the computer that we use for live from Japan too, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this little guy, and it's obviously all solid state, so there are no moving parts. You can throw it like a disc, it can fall off tables, it can get real dinged up. It's gone to hell and back with me. And
what if you threw it? What if you threw it off of the top of a plane, like a jet plane, flying at 30,000 feet over top of a large concrete plane?
Yeah, Google terminal velocity of MacBook Air 2015.
It would break.
You don't know that. What's its terminal velocity?
Well, isn't it the same for everything?
Not for MacBook Airs.
You can throw a mouse out of an airplane and it'll survive, right?
What about a honeycomb mouse, though?
That's
and it's
true.
great because it's so tiny. It's so
There's less
cute.
drag because it's got holes in it.
Yeah.
And you can get these things for pretty cheap now.
You need to cool off.
Like you can get one of these i7 11-inch MacBook Airs for like $500 or $600. Which, yes, if you're just looking at the specs, it sounds like a lot of money for an i7 with 8 gigs of RAM. But like what you're getting is like a computer that weighs almost nothing. that is incredibly powerful. And
I'm sorry, I can't get over the idea that somebody I love the idea that somebody would make a mouse that had holes in the top of it so that you could throw it off of a plane at 30,000 feet, and the air would just go through it, so it wouldn't reach terminal velocity, so it could hit the ground without breaking.
It's the Whiffle mouse.
Well, dude, also,
hilarious idea.
if you need to pivot your FPS camera 180 degrees, there's less air resistance.
Yeah.
This screen is making me sick. I gotta
So you
get
can
out of
rotate
here.
it faster.
It's giving you IPS, man.
That you could throw that baby right off a mountain.
Now what they need to do is make the true MacBook Air honeycomb design, where the whole computer shell is like the Mac Pro cheese grater,
so that you can throw it off a plane.
so it can survive any kind of a fall.
Even the glass has holes in it.
Yes. Well, that's why they made the Mac Pro design the way that they did, the cheese grater design. It's so that you can throw it long distances.
Yeah, Kevin, now you just know that it makes tech laugh, so you're not gonna stop.
I just can't stop. Like the idea, it's just so funny. Like a selling point.
Xbox
putting
Series
holes.
X, brought
Yeah,
that
it's
shit.
full of holes. You can throw it off a plane. You can't throw anything off a plane.
I think the Dune case would. Does anyone here know what the Dune case is? If we're going to talk about true coexisting,
Mark's been keeping me updated on the project.
James,
We looked at it,
do you
and
remember
James
what the
got
Du-
very upset. So,
Wait, James, can you make him sit? Yeah, big in the chair.
Oh, his eyes! I love his eyes. Yeah.
So everyone, I'm on top of this.
Yeah.
Here we got to.
Oh God.
So if we maybe.
B-Fan asks, what is Dune case?
What is Dune case?
I did not take the bait on that one.
I went.
There's no bait. There is no bait. We're just having a discussion about gaming.
There we go. Now he's lean. Now he's got his lean arm.
I talk. I email.
I browse.
Eyebrows.
I search.
Eyebrows.
Wow.
he browse, he search, he sing, he download.
This is like Ozymandias,
Download.
like the father cat when he gets like angry and changes color and gets really scary, you know?
He
He's holding-
key attack.
He's holding Gaia right there.
Yeah, Imagine if that's Earth. Imagine how fucking big that banana he's holding.
Oh my god.
Excuse me.
Look, I have this memory from when I was a kid,
I'll see you later.
and it's one of the memories that I'm starting to kind of doubt now. Do you ever have those?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
have those all the time. What
So
did I have for breakfast this morning?
This guy brought in a canister of liquid nitrogen, and we had an assembly, and then he was like just showing us the properties of liquid nitrogen, and he was like, he had this story where he's like, so I moonlight as a construction worker, and I was at the job site the other day, and I realized that I had some nails to drive and I forgot my hammer. So I was in a predicament, and I opened my lunchbox, and all I had was, this can of liquid nitrogen I carry around everywhere with me, and a banana.
Classic adult story that they would tell their
And,
children. And we're just like,
So I started to think about, how I could problem solve here, and so I thought, well, maybe I could put the banana in the liquid nitrogen. So he opened the canister, like this is real, in real life. He opens the canister of liquid nitrogen and dips a banana in it, and then he like pulls out a 2x4 with a nail and like hammered the nail into the 2x4 with a banana.
I feel like that definitely happened because I saw a similar display when I was in elementary school in the auditorium, and they froze a rose and then shattered it. And I thought,
Yeah, the guy-
how romantic.
That sounds super familiar too. Do they do that anymore? Do they have people bring in canisters of liquid nitrogen to elementary schools? It's just,
I don't think so. That's
This is the Dune
Scary.
case.
Oh, that
Real,
thing.
bro.
So I didn't take the bait, so Mark's just gonna take over the show.
Hell yeah. What kind of cooling they got in there, dude?
Dude, this is
AIO?
so awesome, man. I have this car. It's like it looks like a Porsche, but it's really just a plastic body kit. You can't tell the difference. Same deal.
Hell
It's
yeah,
awesome.
brother.
It's so cool.
You can't argue with $1 million raised
Jeez.
from a bootleg scam. I joined the Discord. I'm not going to buy this, but I joined the Discord because it's like 2 years behind production, and it's just a really form of entertainment for me now, where this guy just posts pictures from a plant in China every 2 days, and it's like, he's like, please believe me, we're really making this fake.
I like how they
My
say
God.
January 2020 shipping worldwide. Missed deadline.
It's like, no, guys, look. I think that if we just wait, the floor shop LPs, I just know it's gonna
They're
arrive.
gonna come. They're gonna
Just
show up
have
someday.
faith, everyone. Don't be a vapor brat. Come on, they're coming. They're coming. I believe.
I'll stop. I'll stop wrecking your. We can talk about something that you like the 4K remaster of Lord of the
Mark,
Rings.
all we do is talk about what I like. I'm being completely
How do we
facetious
get
with
back
you.
on the
I'm just
screen?
kidding. I love you, and none of this
That's part of the
actually
show.
How do we get
stirs
back?
pain.
How do we get back on the screen?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
you
how do
gotta
we
you
get back
gotta
on the
share
screen?
you gotta share screen. You gotta share screen with us.
What?
There we go. Everything's good. Never mind. It's
Oh,
good.
it's just a problem y'all are having. We're good here.
Nah, I just see.
Oh, weird. I see what's happening. That's really strange. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
It's an OBS.
This
Maybe
is
if
some
you had an
OBS.
IPS for the OBS, you wouldn't get IBS.
I can. This is. If there's any gamers in the chat, I think they know what we're talking about when we say.
Carlos, this is your
Irritable
game.
bowel
IBS.
syndrome.
Hell yeah.
Kevin, that story of the liquid nitrogen banana man reminded me of my days when all my friends called me resourceful tech because I was
is
very
true.
resourceful.
That is a fact. I was there.
They really did call me resourceful tech, and I lived up to that name once when I had to make a set list. We didn't have any paper and we didn't have any pens, but I needed to make a set list for the show. And so what I did find was I found a petri dish that was for detecting mold in the basement. I found a candy cane.
A lot of.
There was, yeah, detected, I'm sure, a lot. There's a candy cane, and then I found some soy sauce packets from like some Chinese food. And then I just poured the soy sauce packets into the petri dish, and then dipped the candy cane into the soy sauce, and then dragged it across some cardboard, and I was able to make a set list on a piece of cardboard using a candy cane, petri dish, and soy sauce. And that's the name of the game when you're a resourceful guy.
When you're a hard-working band on the road. I mean,
Yeah, when you're
just.
Good thing it wasn't dry soy sauce.
Oh, whoops, wrong one. Just.
If anyone here wasn't here earlier, we were talking about dry water.
Yeah, so we should explain every joke as it comes up, I think.
I think. Shout out to the gamers in the chat. I think everyone who's a gamer in the chat knows about dry water.
I did
It's the ultimate form
a
of food.
master class on comedy with what's his name, the Joe the plumber, or Frank the
Cable guy.
Jeff
Larry the
Foxworthy,
cable guy?
Larry the cable guy. Yeah, and they said, if you ever tell a joke, you gotta explain it, otherwise I don't get it. Peter Jackson said something similar in the Hobbit docs when he said that he needed to make sure that every dwarf in the Hobbit had a recognizable silhouette, that you could instantly identify them by their silhouette. Otherwise, it would be too confusing to the audience, that they would not understand who was who.
Name that Pokemon. It's Thorin.
Right, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
oh, the dwarf that you give his name once in the first movie and he literally has like one line ever because
Yeah.
there's 13 of them and who fucking cares? Like they don't even exist in the book. Whatever.
That
Dude,
reminds
Google
me
4K.
Of, have you guys played the game Dragon's Crown for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4?
No.
It's a beautiful semi-Tolkien-inspired like fantasy beat 'em up, like dungeon crawler, and it's awesome. But the character designs were super criticized for being like absolutely ridiculous. Google Dragon's Crown characters.
Okay, we're gonna enter the mouse into
Hell yeah.
Ultimate Gaming Ultra Wide True Gaming mode. So what am I looking for here, buddy?
Dragon's Crown
Chivalry 2.
character design. So basically when the developers were like accosted for the kind of grotesque character design, they said that the action on screen was so intense that they needed to have very distinct silhouettes for each character, and that was why they made it look like that.
That's
Peter
why.
Jackson made this game?
Oh my god.
Is this real?
Oh.
Yes, the game rules too.
Well, that's
At
all
what
right.
cost?
It's by Vanillaware, who did Odin Sphere,
Oh, really?
Muramasa,
Yeah.
Oh my
13
goodness.
Sentinels.
That's
Look
a
at this
little
skeleton. I don't know if he's that poor skeleton or that lucky guy. Jeez.
much. Hey yo.
Yeah, when your
Wow.
game makes World of Warcraft look realistic, you might have a problem. But you know, I
Man,
was,
that sucks though because Odin Sphere actually looked awesome. The graphics in that game were really cool.
well, you know,
Yeah.
something I was talking about recently.
I mean, the graphics on Dragon's Crown are beautiful as well. It's just like the character design is like just totally insane, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool to see a Japanese developer's take on like Western fantasy, you know, like yeah.
Well, that's.
I mean, look at that dude.
yeah.
He's got like a 17 pack there.
Like,
Yeah.
so like, and I was talking about this a little bit, like watching, and I talked about this on the stream, like watching Return of the King and it actually being like totally sick, and then remembering that like mid-aughts when Lord of the Rings was truly king of cinema and king of entertainment, and that's why we got like Oblivion, and that's why Oblivion just made sense to everyone. They're like, yeah, absolutely, swords, sorcery, castles, ogres. We're all on board. We're all cool.
Right.
Dude, James,
It was
You
just
gotta
a
look
nice moment in time when
you've got to Google Lord of the Rings 4K and Hobbit. I'm sorry. I cannot believe that you don't know about this.
Well, I
unless
just
you were
might, I just
joking.
might have to. No, I might have to do this privately. You know, like I don't know if, you know, this is kind of, I don't know. Like I can't deal with this right now. I truly cannot deal with this. But
Too emotionally, it's a huge deal.
I mean, obviously, yeah. Like I can't look at this.
Are they
Yeah.
adding true motion to it?
Ugh.
He wants it to look all like one connected cinematic experience. You're right. I actually feel bad now, James. I'm sorry. We don't need to look at this because
Wait, so
you're
I
probably
don't-
going to go and
hold on.
spend like a
Hold
lot
on,
of
can
time
you-
researching this after this.
Can you explain to me what this is? Is it just they just remastered it for 4K?
Yes, so that the
Yeah.
original trilogy from the early aughts has the same visual fidelity of the Hobbit films, which were shot in 3D high frame rate too. Though the Hobbits were shot in ultra high frame rate, so I don't know how they're gonna. Are they using
That's
like?
why I asked if they were going to use true motion, which is
Oh,
like the
is that what it's called?
that's like the soap opera effect that everyone
Mhm.
talks about. Basically,
So-
they take a 30 frames per second source and then they insert
Like
a frame
AI.
in between every frame that's a mesh of the previous frame and the next frame. So it turns a
It's-
30 frames per second source into a 60 frames per second.
It's the worst. It's the worst thing that has
It
ever
looks terrible.
happened. Yeah.
I hope they don't do that.
I
I
saw
had to
that
watch-
in Japan in like a big camera on like all the TVs there. They had like episode 8 playing.
Yeah,
with-
when we went to get that gigantic piece of toast that one day.
Right? I love
They had
that
Rise of
Skywalker,
season.
and you see the hand pop out, you know, like Luke's robot hand.
It
and
looks
it's
like
just like
fucking what?
Why does it look like that?
Why do they want it to look? Why do they want it to look like a soap opera? I don't understand.
Because
It's
higher
good
numbers
for
are better.
boomers.
It
Yeah,
just
that's
looks
what
like it's running
all
at a
about.
faster frame rate. Oh, also when we were staying at one of those hostels, they were playing that Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, like on at 4K with True Motion on, and it just was like mind-blowingly weird looking. And then it was also, of course, dubbed in Japanese.
Is that something that can be captured in like in a YouTube video? I wonder.
Probably,
The soap
since
opera
the
effect?
stream's running at 60. I think that
It's the true motion?
yeah, TRU, like
Oh.
a true gamer would spell
Like
it.
New World.
Yeah.
True world.
True World.
Yeah, dude. You should take all of your old mixtapes and then split them up into like microseconds, and then do crossfades. Like add the microseconds, then do crossfades between them.
This is I can't believe this. So yeah, I'm just looking at this right now. So this is not true motion, but this is just. Oh my god. And he is looking rough and ready.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because the OBS window looks like.
Oh, these are like all my old friends. This is like a new season of my favorite show, the Hobbit
my
documentaries.
I thought of you instantly.
Yeah, this is like really,
They're
really
back in the
awesome.
lab cooking up some
God,
beats.
remember the first time you saw that in the theater, though? Remember seeing Fellowship and, like, the ring being cut off, and it's like, I can't believe they are showing us the end of the second age of Middle-earth. I can't believe they're going here. We are so lucky. The Hobbit movies did not go that way.
That's okay. Maybe
That
they'll be
Mountain
better
Dew
now.
can is so funny.
Ooh, the ghost Doritos.
The Dorian Electra flavor.
Hey, and now what you just saw there with Aragorn slicing the Dorito, I think it's worth taking pause to mention. When we were all recording, we spent 2 weeks recording in the stew in my house, and so eventually it started to get a little smelly. And I'm a clean guy. I like to have a clean house. I always wash my hands before I touch my controllers. I eat snacks with chopsticks when I'm at the computer so I don't get stuff on my fingers. I like to keep things clean. I clean my house. I'm always the cleanest guy in the house. And so one morning I was like, hey guys, if you want to get started, that's fine. I have to like dust and vacuum and mop real quick just to it's been a week. There's been like 3 of us in here broing it up. Let's reset. So I spent hours dusting and vacuuming and mopping. I have hardwood floors everywhere in the house, and everything was spotless. The day progressed. Eventually, I'm eating some Pringles, and Tech, he looks at me. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I have to do this." I'm like, "What, man?" He's like, James, I am really, really sorry about this." And he takes one of my Pringles and then takes a pair of scissors and just as a surreal act, just clipped the chip with the scissors. And of course, the chip just breaks into 100 greasy, salty bits all over the hardwood floor. And Tech is just like dying, so pleased with himself. Just like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I completely understand because I know I'm like, all right, but I'm like a little pissed off because it's like, God, like, dude, like,
so bad.
like
I felt so
seriously,
bad.
like I just fucking mopped everything,
I
and
was
as
just like, I had to
like, dude, nothing can stop this from happening. It just classic Tech and his surreal lifestyle just had to do it as like a true Dadaist, just like, no, I must live this.
I laughed so hard from that, like my stomach hurt. Like
I
knew it was gonna be upsetting. Like I did feel bad because I knew you had cleaned and everything, and I tried to clean it up as best as I could. But like, I'm sorry, but yeah, it was just.
No, it's all good. All is forgiven.
It was gratifying. I just cutting a Pringle in half with scissors is so insane. Anyway.
I thought you were going to say
Fighting
that.
Island says chaos reigns. I can't think of a better way to describe it. Like, it was a true Joker moment. You know, like
Joker moment.
Tech
I
was a
can't
Joker.
hear the term chaos reigns without thinking about the fox in that one Willem Dafoe movie.
Antichrist.
Yeah, what the hell?
Probably what he's talking about. Yeah, that's what I assumed at least. But yeah, chaos reigns.
So, yes, Sega Octopus says should have filmed it, but I think that part of the act was that it only existed in that moment.
100.
I mean, someone was going to talk about it eventually, and here we are. But that was really just a piece of performance art that Tech really was just enacting for Keith, because I was a part of the performance, unwillingly and unwittingly made a part of Tech's surreal art. My emotional response was truly kind of like the punctuation on his poetry.
Maybe it only existed within your minds.
That could maybe. No, I had to clean it up.
This is a great song. This is a great song too. Cloud Generator by Kevin.
Oh, sweet! I didn't see that one.
I love this song. Yeah, sorry.
You know what's a bummer about that is I'm dropping some knowledge here. I'm doing a Palace remix album, and I am trying to find some of the stems for these songs. And the stems for Cloud Generator, like the MIDI is gone. A lot of the plugins were 32-bit plugins and like just aren't there anymore. So like that one is going to be kind of impossible to redo without kind of just redoing it from the ground up.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
There is a... Look at this frame here. It's like all Frodo does in that movie. That's cool,
Now,
though.
what was that Antichrist movie about? Do you guys remember?
I never actually saw it because it's too graphic. Because I think there's like she like does like a circumcision or something.
There are boobies in it.
There's like a smashing scene.
It's a Lars von Trier film, so it's pretty graphic.
Okay, that's why I watched it. I just couldn't figure out why I know about it or why I've seen it more than once. Okay.
I don't know why you've seen it. I just read about it on Wikipedia because that's what I do with movies that I feel like are probably too violent for me.
The way to go.
Yeah.
But
there's a smashing scene.
yeah,
Smashing scene.
Smash Bros. Yeah.
It's no more violent than like, Final Fantasy VII Remake though, where, Tifa and Cloud and Aerith all threaten to smash Don's genitals.
Yeah. That's
But
from
he
the original
deserves it,
game though.
though.
I know.
They don't show it.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard when that was like in the game. I couldn't believe that they.
Yeah, but at a certain point, I realized that they weren't going to omit anything classic about the original Final Fantasy.
Except the hot tub scene.
They did get rid of the hot tub scene, but it was replaced with the hand massage scene.
That's true, but it's not as good though because that's like cis heteronormative,
What about Cloud at the Honeybee Inn with like the 12 muscular dudes on the heart-shaped bed? They got rid of that.
That's what James was talking about. Although you can do two different rooms in the original Gold Saucer. One puts you on a bed with a bunch of dudes. One puts you in a hot tub with a bunch of dudes. The whole thing is very strange.
Sure.
But they do the they try to do the like just I don't know gender binary discourse with that character, whatever his name is.
I think they pretty tastefully remixed.
Yeah, it's pretty tasteful.
Yeah.
I never got any like weird vibes or anything from that. So.
No, for sure.
So it is 9:34. I think that we should probably start talking about the playlist, and we should come up with a playlist game because we've been going over because of that, and I'm having a late dinner tonight. So
okay, so here's the deal with the playlist.
Tech has a plan.
No, somebody needs to come up with a game. I came up with the last 2 times. I trust that somebody can come up with a good one.
Okay,
But-
wait, I have an idea.
Take, you gotta
Okay.
pull your weight in this show here, you know.
I fucking came up with 2 of them.
So the only idea I had was
What about
Dying at
Wait.
the Bonzi Buddy transparency.
how about we use the
know.
Yeah,
Bonzi
yes,
Buddy? So, your picks, which resonates with which of the tenets of Bonzi Buddy's religion, which is search,
How about which
browse.
are you?
Mark, that's a fantastic idea.
So, does this
Do you
song browse? Yeah, or does
yeah.
it say facts?
so here's
Okay,
so
so-
here's how we're gonna do this thing. I'm
Well,
gonna get a little
First, you
weird.
should know. First, you should know that Spotify. It's not. I have not updated the playlist, so I'm gonna do it in real time.
Ooh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's what I say when I'm
Nice.
Or we're
upset
gonna get a
about something.
copyright claim?
So everyone's seeing the biscuits getting buttered in real time here. I got some plans, some ideas. We're gonna put Spotify up here. Gonna put this over here. Chat. My buddy Chad is going over here,
Chadley.
and we're gonna make it so they're a little more present here. Great to see you. Whoa, language and rail.
Oh, they're talking about the smashing scene.
Bonsai buddies, gender queer.
Hell yeah, he
I
is.
think so. Hell yeah. So we're gonna put this
okay.
there.
So Kevin's gonna go first, because he's the one who submitted his picks first, which is par for the course.
Right.
I was pretty fast today.
You were second.
And then let me just.
I basically have not listened to music this week. I know that sounds crazy, but I basically picked songs that were stuck in my head at some point this week.
James, you let me know when you're ready.
I'm
So
ready
I
to
got-
go. We're here.
Okay, I'm ready to go. I put the first one in there.
Blue Fields.
So yeah,
So-
Blue Fields.
Blue-
It's a
Yeah.
classic world map theme from Final Fantasy VIII. The version that's stuck in my head is the piano version, but it's not on Spotify.
There's
Really?
also a really sick version on the Dissidia soundtrack. That,
Hell yeah.
Like the
Ooh.
original. Sorry, it's one of my favorite DDS songs is playing right now.
All right.
So in the
I'm
in the
gonna
piano
drop in
version,
number 2
they
here.
add some extra notes. It goes like boom boom bum 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 dun 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 dun. And I really like those added notes.
They mix it up.
So yeah, it's stuck in my head. On our way from Final Fantasy VII, because I beat Final Fantasy VII Remake, and when the remade version of that song came on, I got really, really emotional. There's something about that, like, what instrument did they use for the lead for that? It sounds like a
pan flute or
horn or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Oh, it's like
Or
no,
like
it's
a
like
soprano
it's like
sax or
a
something?
like a harmonica or like a accordion style. It's like a Nights
I
into
think it's a
Dreams.
Roland.
It's a very New World sound.
In the remake though, specifically, it's like
Oh,
like a
I'm not as
alto
familiar.
sax or something like
Yeah, it's like some sort of saxophone, I think.
yeah, I don't know. That one just hits extra hard. So I had to put that one on. And the jazz remix of that from the jukebox is
All
just
the
fantastic.
jukebox songs
Yeah,
are
all the jukebox
fucking
stuff.
incredible. That
goes so
game is
hard.
Like, God.
Finally,
And then there's an Eerie Nitta song, which was added to the Telepath Samples playlist that I frequent sometimes. And I found the song earlier before it was added to that playlist, but it wasn't on the playlist, and it was driving me crazy how I knew about this song. Because I bought this record in Japan, and it's awesome. Like it's just like really cool, dreamy J-pop 80s song. But yeah, that's it for me.
so then, Mark, what tenet?
The tenets
What tenet
of
of
Bonzi.
Bonzi Buddy's religion is Kevin most suited to?
Oh,
His
this one's
picks.
easy.
Oh, okay. Just to recap, we got Blue Field On Our Way by Nobuo Uematsu, and then Gogatsu no Koibito by Irinata. Really neat, though.
Gonna have to go with I Sing, because they were stuck in his head, so he was singing them using his mind's voice in his own head.
His
Over and
mind's
over again.
voice.
So you get 2 instrumental songs, and your answer is I Sing.
Yeah.
Really out of the
I don't
park.
I mean, look. Would you dare cross Bonzi, buddy?
No, I do not. I do not want to make him furious with me.
He
tells
tells facts.
Yeah.
Here, I need to. Here, we'll do a. Maybe I can have like an angry mode. Where he's like.
Put mean eyes on.
Do not fuck with him. I'm sorry. I apologize. Please retreat into your astral realm. All right. So he's gone until we need him once again. So we need them. Sorry. Okay.
So James, you are up next.
Yes. My songs were based on things I had been listening to, and then one of them was based off of Kevin's picks because he did do them first. So what were they again? Golden Years. Yeah,
I know.
We were talking about Bowie in the Discord. There are a couple Bowie curious shroudies that I was like, hey, we all have that moment in our life where we're like, man, I need to get into David Bowie. What's the deal with that? For me, it happened when I was in high school and I saw the VH1 Legends documentary about David Bowie, and then I went out and purchased the CD of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, and then it was all downhill from there. But Golden Years, that's just a really great song. And then I was playing it in here, and my girlfriend was like, oh, I love this song. I remember it from the film A Knight's Tale, which is that bizarre film from the aughts that's it's like aughts pop culture mishmashed with like Lancelot shit. And so there's like a courtly dance scene when all of a sudden they start playing Golden Years, and it gets weird, and they dance like the aughts, and it's really cool.
Heath Ledger in it, right?
Yeah, I have the feeling that watching that movie now, it would kind of be like, damn, this movie is like kind of brilliant, like it seemed so ridiculous at the time, but now just thinking about it, like, injecting pop culture, maybe this is a way to actually humanize these people from a distant past, and make these stories a little bit more relatable. So instead of seeing a courtly dance where we're like, what the fuck are they doing? It's like, oh no, they're jamming to David Bowie. I understand this because we're all people. They use the bathroom the same way we use the bathroom. There's a great quote from Carl Sagan. I don't know the exact quote, but the general idea is that when you think about ancient humans, they were just as smart and just as clever and just as curious as all of us are. Like, we are not smarter than they were. We just have the benefit of the collective knowledge of the human race and technological advances over the last 500 years so we're born into a world with Gears of War 3. But he tells
cover-based shooting mechanics.
Right, exactly.
Revolutionized third-person shooting.
Yes.
But Carl Sagan tells the story. He's like, so imagine ancient man sitting around a campfire,
with no cover.
Right. Yes. No cover. Just they're sitting around a fire. So like man has just tamed fire. So this is like the first steps towards civilization. And imagine a human of this era looking up into the night sky, and what would they think? They might look at their campfire and think, oh, well, the fire seems to punch holes in the darkness, and the stars in the sky, they look like they're sort of doing the same thing, so maybe these points of light are actually campfires, but are burning very bright and very, very far away. And in that way, an ancient human could actually figure out that, like, stars exist and, kind of the makeup of the universe, just using these sort of deductive reasoning and observational skills that are enabled by the cerebral cortex. So Just something to think about. A Knight's Tale.
Sounds like a dumbass.
Watch A Knight's Tale.
Yeah, so watch A
streaming
Knight's Tale and remember that courtly dances are really no different than flossing, basically. So
Watch it with true motion, though.
tonight. I like that Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet movie. I'm gonna say it. I like that movie, so I'd probably like A Knight's Tale.
I'm about to like watch it, and I'm gonna come on here and be like, it's my favorite movie. So we'll see. I also put the Rabao music, which is town music from Final Fantasy XI. One day when I was doing a bunch of clerical work for the New World Mixtape Club, I had in the other room Final Fantasy, my chill FF11 playlist, just rocking. Or actually, no, I was just listening to the Final Fantasy XI soundtrack straight up, and or I'm sorry, Rise of the Xylart, and that track came on. And again, I was in my room, and me and my girlfriend have desks that face each other. It's really cute. Like our monitors are back to back, and then we can like, lean over and talk to each other. It is adorable. And that track was playing, and there's a point in which this really sick cut time beat like just cuts in over the shaker, and I was like, "Yo, check this out! This beat's about to fucking drop." And then it did, and it was obviously anticlimactic because it's just like PS2 RPG music. So that was in there. And then I did Server Shutdown because this samples the piano version of On Our Way from the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack.
Nice.
You want more? You want me to talk about
Nice.
Mark, what tenet of Bonzi Buddy's religion he's come back to haunt us?
Gonna have to go with I talk. You definitely
Look, if I want to take things back to 5,000 years ago or whatever, I'm gonna take it back there, and we're just gonna deal with it. Okay.
That was about A Knight's Tale. I liked everything I heard. I'm just.
I know. I'm sorry. I love and hate myself as I love and hate The Hobbit as I love and hate The Ring. I am what I am. That's
sure. And you're amazing, and I love listening to you talk about A Knight's Tale for like 10 minutes. It's great.
I like that Mark is just like a conduit of Bonzi Buddy, so he just showed up to be like, James talks a lot.
Yeah, like
Mark's like, I'm sorry.
But he was not furious with that interpretation though. So I think that was good. So I talk.
Uh-oh.
Kevin was I sing.
I think I've lost signal.
No, you're here, buddy. We see you.
You're here.
You jumped for a second, but you're here. We can see you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm having. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so Mark, you're up third.
I'm up next. Okay.
Here you go. There's your first one right there.
What? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is a track that my friend sent me the other day. I don't know if it's famous or if it's obscure Italo disco pop banger from the 80s that no one's ever heard of, but I really liked it a lot, and it just really made my head bob. And I looked up the artist. I think it's like Big Ben Tribe, maybe.
Big Ben Tribe.
Just heard. Okay, and which like I don't know. I was like couldn't really find much music from them, just like another single or two, and it was just like, but I love the sound of it all, so highly recommend listening. Shout out to JQR if you're watching. You sent this to me in the middle of the night, and along with a picture of your cat, and putting it on the playlist because I liked it.
The next one might be for our international audiences only, possibly.
What?
Yeah. Well, it seems to not be. Hold on 1 second. I'm not able.
Which track?
Grab it. Valley of the Kings.
Okay. I mean, it may be.
Oh
yeah,
wait,
this
hold
is
on,
a BBC.
No, it's okay.
Canadian exclusive.
That doesn't exist.
There's something weird going on where it's not showing up in the playlist, but if I try what the fuck is going on? Well, I added it, but it's not showing up. And if I try to add it again, it's like, you want to put a duplicate? So I don't quite understand.
I don't know, man. Maybe he can pick another one.
Well, it might just be that it's there, but it can't be for American audiences, because for me, I'll just let everybody know, since you can't click on it, Mark's pick here is from the music from the television series Tutankhamun, starring Max Irons and Sam Neill, and it looks as if it's just like maybe not licensed for Americans, so like it won't show up on
BBC.
It's all great, yeah.
Commonwealth only.
Commonwealth only.
If you don't have the Queen on your currency,
Yeah, her Queen Majesty has declared.
So you got to pick another one. Sorry, Mark, on the spot.
I'm out of ideas though. All I had, that was all I had.
Tutankhamun Sanctuary.
Oh, just do Pharaoh by Freedom Call. That's similar.
Yeah, do Pharaoh by Freedom Call. You want that?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Sure,
walk like
sure.
an Egyptian.
Freedom Call.
I have another Egyptian inspired song on here, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's less Egyptian, but it has that same. It's technically more like sort of Greek and Roman kind of mythology. But it has that same musically. It's the same kind of thing that white guys do when they try to evoke like a foreign sort of Eastern Egyptian vibe.
A friend of mine wrote her doctoral thesis about that, examining the music of Treasures of Ottergon from Final Fantasy IX.
so
I have a really good picture from I saw on Twitter. It's like a white guy dressed like Tutankhamun, just like a middle-aged dude smiling with really good teeth. There's like an illustration. I wanted to share it for my picks, but I can't find it in my downloads folder. So
okay, well,
not much is right. We need that NordVPN sponsorship.
finally, Mark's final selection here.
Immortals Phoenix Rising soundtrack pick here.
Don't miss this track, by the way, everyone. This album is incredible. Pharaoh is truly a masterpiece.
One of Mark's picks.
It is
one of my
seriously
subs.
Good. Ramsey
I
Pharaoh, Wise Man.
I don't know
Anyway.
that song,
Yeah,
but it's now my pick.
Giant in the Sky.
it rules.
Okay. This song, however, I found through an advertisement on Instagram when I was scrolling down my timeline.
You don't say.
And I was just like had my phone open and I heard some music from this and I was like, this actually is like kind of inspiring me. And then I went and like listened to it, and it's the same composer, I guess, from Ori and the Blind Forest.
Gareth Coco.
And
Ark
and I was like,
Survival Evolved.
Oh, this game. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and Minecraft Egyptian mythology soundtrack. And Norse mythology.
Wow.
And Ark.
dude's got a wheelhouse of
Okay,
Egyptian music.
yeah.
Did the Ark
Yeah.
soundtrack. That's cool.
Okay, so then with all these picks, what are we? What Bonzi Buddy? What tenet of Bonzi Buddy's religion are we selecting, or rather, are we the conduit?
Do not speak of them until they have appeared. Wait for it.
Waiting.
We're waiting for facts.
Oh. Why, hello there, Bonzi Buddy. Well,
They
I
are
gotta
fully
say,
present for this. Okay.
so we've got we've got Gareth Coker, who's obsessed with Egypt or something, right? And we got Pharaoh by Freedom Call. Pharaohs are notoriously Egyptian. And then we have Tarzan Loves the Summer Nights by Big Ben Tribe. Tarzan also was Egyptian.
I'm gonna go with iSearch.
And now, why is that?
Because he's searching the world's musical mythology.
Is it Mark in
Has-
charge of this? Or?
Yeah, but Mark
Oh.
can't select his own.
Can't select his own thing.
If I were
okay.
to select my own, I would
Yeah.
say eyebrows.
Like eyebrows.
Sure.
Not because
Eyebrows.
of the homophonic nature of eyebrows on a face, but because I was literally just searching Instagram for something else and I saw an advertisement.
That's
And I was
a great.
just-
That's a great.
That's true.
That's a great moment in Fooly Cooly. Eyebrows.
James, What did what tenant did Bonzi tell you in secret from Mark?
So I heard I tell facts because I'm seeing the history of Greece, of ancient Egypt, of Amazon, of jungles, all these places.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go with one of those.
So I gotta be the tiebreaker here, unless it's for. But no, I'm gonna go with Mark's eyebrows, because I like the fact that he was browsing the net when he discovered Gareth Cook. Oh.
No, I think he's okay. He just had to think about it.
Okay. Beautiful eyebrows.
Well done.
Limit break, Bonsai
goodbye.
buddy.
Goodbye, Bonzi.
All right, so there's only one more, right?
RG Bonsai.
Yeah, it's just me.
All right, so we got 5 minutes to get this done.
Yep. So we got. I may have already picked these songs in the past. Don't know. We got a song here called "Devil Cry."
Well, will they or won't they? They may.
It may.
Jesus. By White Trash, obviously hyperpop.
Oh,
and that's all I listen to. It's
sounds current.
Yeah, they're all gonna be current because that's all I've only been listening to that and Death's Dynamic Shroud, and I don't want to put any more Death's Dynamic Shroud on there. We'll put maybe my second favorite song of the year. Probably already put this on the playlist once before, but yeah, by Phone Wifey, we've got Iced Out Boomer.
This has been on the list before, I'm pretty sure.
Has it, Phone Wifey?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm putting it back on. And we'll go with what about Replay by Planet 1999?
That sounds new.
Okay. Hack into that thing's mainframe there. There you go. Great album art. And so all three of those are just hyperpop, and that's all you need to know. Nathan asked what my favorite song of the year is. I was just thinking about it last night. Oh, it's another hyperpop song that I've put on the playlist before by That Kid called Look at Me. Whole year. That Kid, Look at Me. Favorite song of the year.
I'm trying to decide whether I should do my
I saw That Kid at a
20
show.
annotated lists, because if I do it, then I got to do it for the next 9 years. Maybe I should just
James,
stop.
I had an idea. What if instead of doing that, what if we had we got with Keith and we put together a little Death's Dynamic Shroud Best of 2020 playlist
that could
we
take the edge
created
off. But then,
yeah,
I don't know. And we'll
just
talk
do
about
it with me. All right.
We'll talk
God
about
damn it. So look, see how fussy he is about doing fun stuff.
Look, I got a lot of. I gotta
celebrate music.
I got a lot on my plate,
I try to make it easier on him. I'm like, look, you don't have to make a list with annotations. You just drop some songs into Spotify. We're
It's
good.
not as. I will do that. But I would still have to make the decision: do I do the HCMJ's famous annotated top 20? My favorite, because that's just like a personal thing,
Yeah, that's on you.
Anyway,
we got to square up with Bonzi buddy before.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes. So, Mark, what's your call?
Oh, Bonzi, please tell me.
I'm gonna have to go with I download for this.
That was gonna be my suggestion.
I think that's
100%.
perfect.
We're on the same page. It's
Bonzi's
pretty
growing.
self-explanatory.
Oh, he's
Because
growing.
that is the most hyper pop act.
Yeah, he's
Bonzi
growing.
Buddy is the godfather of hyperpop.
You heard it here first. Yeah. Wow.
And I think that for and this, I could be wrong, but I think that Bonzi Buddy would say of the chat, I hope that I laugh. Yeah, Cortana.
Well, I'm
I think
sorry.
we need to have a cage match between Cortana and Bonzi Buddy.
I can be fussy. I know. I'm like the opposite of that song on Lodger. I am a moody guy.
Okay, so here I got an idea. We're almost about out of time here, James. Can you program into the computer here? Can you program who would win in a fight between Bonzi Buddy and Cortana if they were to fight? Can you just?
Yeah. So let me see. Who would win in a